There's conflict in the office, trouble in paradise. But who should apologize first and how? Hello everyone. Welcome to Communication Q&A. My name is Lauren Sergi and today we're going to tackle a dilemma that you've probably faced yourself at some point. Whether you should be the first to apologize and how to do it without losing face. This question is from Edward, who writes, "Hi Lauren, enjoying your videos. During a recent meeting, I got into an argument with another director. We often butt heads in the office, but I'm usually good at keeping myself contained. But at this meeting, I snapped as this person was attacking the actions of one of my direct reports. I defended my employee and had a few choice words to this person about interfering in my department and trying to run the show. Oh, Edward, what did you say? Our CEO had to call a break, and the rest of the meeting was tense and unproductive. The other director has been sulking ever since, and our CEO has told me to fix this. I don't think I was wrong to defend my team, especially as their actions were appropriate. The other director was out of line, especially in bringing this up in front of everyone during a director's meeting. If anything, they should be the one to apologize to me. What do I do? Apologize first? I don't want to seem like a pushover, but I doubt the other director will step up to the plate, and this has already dragged on for too long. Thanks for your help, Edward." Woof, Edward. This is an unpleasant situation, and I do have some suggestions for how to approach this. But before I get into those suggestions, I need to be clear. Based on your question, I'm assuming that the issue is not involving a serious breach of behavior like racism, harassment, bullying, or corporate wrongdoing. This sounds like one of those bog standard interpersonal conflicts that are very common in the workplace, and that's what I'm going to base my recommendations on. But just because a conflict is bog standard doesn't mean that it can't cause real damage. So let's dig in. I'm going to be straight with you. I recommend that you be the first to apologize. You said that you don't think you should have to be the first to apologize or even apologize at all. But even if you shouldn't have to be the first to say sorry, there are tactical reasons for you to do so. One, there's a strategic advantage. Apologizing first allows you to set the tone and the focus of the conversation. This can help you direct people's attention away from the pettier details of the conflict and towards the bigger issue that actually needs resolving. Two, apologizing first can be a good reputation maneuver. It helps give the impression that you're the sort of person who isn't afraid of apologizing, that you don't let your pride get in the way of your judgment. It demonstrates that you have awareness and willingness to step up and take responsibility for when you're at fault. This can increase people's trust in you and their desire to communicate with you in the future because they'll see you as being more reasonable than they might have had you waited to apologize. This can have a ripple effect beyond the person that you're apologizing to, and even if the apology is given in private, word tends to get around in most workplaces. Third, it's good for you, it's good for the relationship, and it's good for the conversation. When there's conflict, apologizing helps you move things along so that you can make meaningful progress on the actual problem at hand. Digging in and taking the view of, "I'll apologize if they apologize," just allows the problem to fester. Being willing to swallow the frog and give a sincere but strategic apology can help you resolve the issue and come out of it looking like the bigger person, but only if you're the one to apologize first. Unfortunately, our pride or feelings of hurt can really get in the way of apologizing well. So when faced with the sticky issue of being the first to say sorry, I have my clients take this approach. First, ask yourself, what matters more, making progress or being right? If being right honestly matters more, and sometimes it does, then hold off on the apology. But if you're trying to make progress on a problem, then being willing to apologize first and do it quickly for the sake of coming to a solution is often the best way to keep things moving forward. Next, identify the action that you want to apologize for. In the situation you described, you believe that your views and position on the actual issue are correct. Assuming that this is the case, you shouldn't apologize for your views, but you can sincerely apologize for hollering at your coworker. Then make a simple, straightforward apology that focuses on and takes responsibility for that action and nothing else. Don't try to justify your action or explain it away because that waters down the apology. Keep it short. There's no need for self-flagellation or groveling. You don't need to diminish yourself in order to make a good, sincere apology. Finally, offer a solution for how to move forward. The point is to be able to resume the conversation and make progress on the actual problem. So come up with a plan for how you'll do that and share the plan with the person you're apologizing to. All of this comes together in a very neat little package. One of my clients a while ago was a leader at a big company, and he was in a situation similar to yours. He'd gotten into a heated argument with someone that ended in a shouting match. Both my client and the other person were involved in the yelling, but there was no clear instigator. Now, my client felt strongly that he was right with his views. He didn't want to apologize and felt, just like you, that if anything, the other person owed him an apology. But he also knew full well that there was no way the other person would step up to the apology plate. But if no one apologized, resentment would stay at this constant simmer and the issue that they were fighting about wouldn't be resolved. Now, my client was very worried about how this would look on him, as well as for company leadership and cohesiveness in general. People had heard all of the yelling, and word had gotten around that there was tension among the senior leaders. So my client needed to get out in front of the problem and curb any rumors that were beginning to start up. Basically, he had to control the conversation about the blow-up. Even though his apology would be given privately to the other person, he knew that word would get around and that other people would, after the apology, see him and this other leader working together well and getting along, and that the rumors would be quelled. I helped him write a simple apology that focused on the problematic actions without my client needing to back down from his position on the issue that created the flare-up. I'm sorry I lost my temper. I shouldn't have started shouting, and I won't do that again. I care about ABC a lot, and I know you do too, so let's set up a meeting specifically to talk about it. It might be helpful if we bring in Anne as a third party to take part in the conversation. I know she has some insights, and she might help keep things on track. It was short, it was sweet, it had all of the right elements. Recognizing and taking responsibility for his actions, guiding the focus of the conversation back towards the issue at hand, and then providing a straightforward solution for how they can carry on the original discussion by bringing in a third party to keep things calm. This type of apology would likely work well for you too, Edward. Apologize for snapping and perhaps for a specific thing you said, such as, "John, I'm sorry I called you an imperialistic goon at Thursday's meeting. It was inappropriate. I care a great deal about my team and got carried away." It's simple, it's specific to the problematic action, and it involves you taking responsibility for your part in the fight without backing down from your position. Then, offer John a solution or a future course of action. If you have concerns with my team, please bring them to me directly instead of at the manager's meeting. That way I can look into the issue more closely before responding. This shows that you've thought about how to deal with the problem while directing attention away from the name calling and back towards the bigger issue, how to properly handle interdepartmental disagreements. Being the first to apologize in this way doesn't mean continuing to put up with his imperialistic goonery from John. I suspect you need a more in-depth conversation with your CEO about this, but that, my friend, is a topic for another day. Edward, I hope this approach helps you out. Remember, apologizing first isn't a show of weakness, and it doesn't mean letting the other person have their way. Rather, it's a strategy that can help repair and even strengthen your reputation while clearing the air for better communication down the road. To everyone watching, if you need some help putting together an apology, I've got a useful guide and template that will help you figure out precisely what to say. Keep it on hand for a time of need, or if you know someone who needs to issue an apology themselves, share this video and the template with them. You can download your apology template guide at laurensergi.ck.page/apology. The link is down below. Thanks everyone for tuning in. If you found this video useful, please hit that like button and subscribe, as it helps out my channel a lot. And I will see you on the next Communication Q&A.